Hello there, my very good friends. On this wrestling news video, is it finally over for Chris Jericho in AEW? I'm Andy.
I'm Adam.
And this is the Jericho news.
Hey!
All right. So, figured it would make a bit of sense to create a whole last video about Chris Jericho today because loads of people were talking about this over the weekend. I saw people start to converse on Chris Jericho on like Saturday morning. I'm not too sure what was going on there. I couldn't find the thread.
Yeah.
That I couldn't pull on it.
Kicked all this off.
Yeah, lots of prominent voices were like, what is this guy up to? What's going on? What's happening with him? And maybe he said something on his podcast or whatever. But the thing that's gotten most people twitching is Jericho. Look, okay, on the surface level, he's just liked something on Instagram, right? But an Instagram account called JM Playground, which I'm not familiar with, tweeted that they did one of them little graphics on Instagram, and it said, Chris Jericho's AEW deal ends December 2025. He is open to a WWE return depending on the situation. Now, they might have just made that up. Who knows? You know, the contract thing has been reported previously, but they might have made the other half up. But Chris Jericho liked it.
Ooh, fuel to that fire.
Yes, liked by Chris Jericho Fozzy. Now, it did have the hashtag Chris Jericho. That's probably how he found it. He's probably doing a bit of searching, although I think he was tagged in it as well, so maybe it popped up. So, like, look, Chris Jericho, not a totally dumb guy, right? He knows that if he likes something and his name appears and it's right there, that people are going to talk about it. If he didn't want people talking about this, I don't think he'd have liked it. Either way, it's been like 4 steady months of speculation.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It has indeed. What do you think? Do you think he's donezo with AEW?
It's intriguing, isn't it? It's certainly the most out he's ever felt of AEW since the inception of it all, because obviously he was there from day one, basically, from the launch of from the announcement. Obviously, he was the sort of big name associated with it. And I think to be fair to Chris Jericho, he has been, or was at least, an integral part of AEW.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I can speak to friends of mine saying to me who were not the mythical casual fan.
Capital C, capital F.
But yeah, very sort of out-of-the-loop wrestling fans going, what's this AEW?
What's this Jericho thing?
Yeah, it's got Jericho and Jim Ross with it. There's quite a few other people who are quite talented, actually. But yeah, he was the J-Wad Kidalist for the intrigue for certain people. I think he was, Le Champion was sensational. That was when we were all sort of running through like all the amazing character development this man's had over his career. The Sex Gods, another fantastic
really
point.
Good.
Like he's gone through multiple different stables and what have you. I think it's fair to say he's kind of lost his way in terms of what's really cutting through as a babyface or a heel, really, in recent months and arguably even years. Could you see him heading out the door of AEW? Yes.
Yeah.
Could you see this being an elaborate work and him signing another 5-year, 10-year deal? I don't know. Also, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm sure there is data that we are not privy to regarding little minute-by-minute viewership spikes and stuff when people are on screen, and if they do eventually renew him, I'm sure that would factor into it. But I agree. I think it's totally unfair to paint Jericho as a complete failure in AEW.
Absolutely.
Le Champion for me was sensational. It was some of his best character work ever. I'm going to say something that's going to annoy a lot of people. I don't care. I liked it more than Adam Page's first title reign, and I liked it more than Kenny Omega's first title reign as well.
I might be in that boat with you, to be honest.
I thought it was absolutely perfect for the first few months of AEW. The transition over to Jon Moxley was exceptional.
Absolutely.
Great feud. The Cody feud was some of the best TV they've ever done. I've got a ticket! Fantastic stuff. And early on, look, he made Jake Hager get over. What the hell? You know, he was sensational early on. You could argue that the Orange Cassidy feud went on a bit too long, but I do think he helped up Cassidy. I do think Orange emerged from that feud more over. I think that he helped MJF. Not that MJF needs the help, he's sensational. But I think that feud was beneficial.
I like the song they did in the pandemic.
I hated that, but I hate fun. So what can you say? I'm like the anti-Andrew WK over here. But yeah, since then, Not so successful. The Eddie Kingston feud was a shambles.
Oh, that was bad, yeah. Forgot about that.
The never-ending run of heel stables, all of which were broadly the same.
The sort of parody of like, aha, you fans love what AEW is, what if we inject it with some sports entertainment?
Yeah.
Whilst the competition were finally kind of, they're never going to fully step away from it, but certainly moving from what this sort of tired tropes that people were sick of with regards to sports entertainment. That didn't really work. And then, those stables just... In my head, they sort of morphed into each other.
Yeah, and it's... You think of things like Big Bill getting really over as a face, and then, the term the Jericho Vortex coming to life. Now, look...
The learning tree.
Yeah, there's aspects of the learning tree I actually like. I think the hi guys, it's quite funny. I pop, I can't lie. And I like Brian Keefe a lot, and I like Big Bill a lot, obviously. But I do think that those two now are better off without him, perhaps.
Do you think he needs to come back, regardless of what contract status is? Do you think, because I think a lot of people said when they did this Jericho Vortex thing, like you say, with Brian Keefe and Big Bill, who we're big fans of here at WhatCulture, I think it's fair to say. Do you think it'd been not necessarily a good gesture, but beneficial for them if he comes back and sort of tries to control them? And they're like, we've been doing this without you, mate. We're way better off without you. I don't know. Would that help them?
Yeah, maybe. It's just difficult because, Jericho's getting old and, his in-ring performances have definitely slowed down, as they do with age. Sometimes he pulls out just like a rabbit out of a hat, and he has a banger with Bandido.
Every time I sit here and say, that's it, he's finished, that's the night he has the show stealer.
The match where Eddie Kingston beat him at Revolution, whatever it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So sometimes he can still bring it back.
Yocho.
But, yeah, oh gosh. But I would say that I don't think they need to do so. If he wants to come back and put someone over on the way out, that's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Put Big Bill or Brian Keefe over. Hell yeah, why not? But I don't think they need to do that. I think that the likeliest scenario here, let's put some predictions down there. I think that Tony Khan and Jericho, who have a good relationship, have a chat and go, hey, this was great. This was a really great run. It was super beneficial. But if you want to go back to WWE, I will not stand in your way, because I don't think that Jericho on TV in 2025 is spiking your business if you're AEW.
No.
But if you're WWE and your booking is all about moments, the return could get a big pop. I'm not sure what would come after it, but the return would get a big pop.
I have a theory that is not my own, but I'm going to parrot it in a second. But yes, I can see them saying, look, you were hugely influential. No doubt when we eventually have an AEW Hall of Fame, Chris Jericho goes in there, quite rightly,
Jericho,
in my opinion.
Sting, two the first names.
Absolutely. Yeah. But you look at it right now and you, think, what could he do? What is there an area necessarily right now that we're like, that could really use a Chris Jericho aspect to it? And certainly, considering his status, the main event scene's kind of moved on, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Hangman Page, MJF, Swerve, Ospreay, Darby Allin. I could sit here and list 10 other people I think I'd rather see be in and around that really top of the title picture, or just prominent place on television. Now to the theory, not mine, but I will mention it because I think it's worthy of a mention. The theory of one Michael Sidgwick, I believe.
Ooh.
One of the Dadleys, at least. Apologies if it's easy to get them confused, isn't it?
Michaels.
Yeah. But he said that he thought he would not be surprised if Jericho goes back to WWE for numerous reasons. The point you've made there. I think this version of Chris Jericho works better in WWE than AEW, arguably right now. And B, it's also a bit of a flex from Triple H if he can be like, oh yeah, you know that Chris Jericho that you all thought was finished in AEW, reinvented himself again in WWE, and now he's, I don't know, I wouldn't want him in the world title picture as well. Like I say, I think he's a legend. I think he's got a great deal of inventive talent within the business, but you could easily see him doing other stuff with up and coming stars, or I don't know, but I would not rule out a return to WWE. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm really dubious of his benefit to up and coming stars after what we've seen over the past few years. I think that he has probably done more to actually keep the vortex is real. I think his presence has been a bit more keeping people kind of stuck in a loop rather than actually boosting them to the top of whatever. Because if you look at the learning tree right now, they're barely on TV, and that sucks. Both of them are really talented. If you look, Bandido rocks, but Bandido would have gotten over anyway because he's an absurd wrestler. He's insane. Yeah, and then you look at people like Daniel Garcia as well, who he's had extensive programs with as well, who are not necessarily higher than before. So I'm really dubious of his benefit to younger wrestlers. But hey, look, he has reinvented himself so many times that it would be completely stupid of me to sit here and go, it will definitely fail.
December 2025, that post claimed, correct?
Yes.
Anything that you can think of that concludes in December of 2025 that Chris Jericho could be involved with? Just a chance, I'm just saying.
You're telling me he's going to be John Cena's final opponent?
Just putting it out there. He was there right at the very beginning for John before he got fired.
It was famously Chris Jericho who got punched in the face when John Cena said ruthless aggression. That wasn't anyone else.
Yes, no.
Chris Jericho when he was bald and in the Olympics.
I could see the highlight reel making another go around. Jerry, hang on, I'm trying to work. Jerry Show. Trying to work out. Jerry Mello.
Jerry Mello.
Yeah.
Jerry Mello.
Carmelo Hayes moves on from The Miz to Chris Jericho. Says of legends.
Jerry Bailey. What does he mean? What would that be? I have no idea.
Jericho. Stephanie Vaquer and Chris Jericho.
Jeremos. Himenomos. I kind of like that, actually. That'd be pretty sick.
Running. I'm very happy to see Omos back, by the way, the weekend.
Poor Microman. He got it. Microman should just powered bombed him. What was he doing? Yeah. Come on, Microman, get it together.
No, I can't do the Judgment Day and the Jericho thing.
The Jericho Day.
The Jericho Day.
Yeah,
Tony D'Angelo Jericho.
That doesn't work. The family Jericho family. This is garbage. This is a terrible.
The Jeriline. That's the bloodline of Chris Jericho.
The MFJs.
Y2 MFD.
I mean, that sounds like the worst story of the year. Well, that's Jericho, I guess. Let us know.
I'm genuinely intrigued. Would you like to see Chris Jericho stick with AEW or go back to WWE, and what would you like to see him do?
And if he went back to WWE, would it work?
Yeah.
Would it not work? I mean, the return would get a huge pop.
Yeah.
Huge pop. But we'll see.
Fozzy live performance at WrestleMania next year, possibly?
They are on tour later this year. So they're in the UK, actually. They're coming here. Right here. So maybe
he loves a bit of a tour in Newcastle, I remember from last time.
He loves a bit of Weatherspoons. Yeah.
Weatherspoons, the hotel room, the venue. That's about it.
It's like in a 2-meter triangle.
Hey, treat yourself to a Greg's. Go on.
Yeah, go on, Chris. Have a go. But yeah, there you go. That's Chris Jericho. What the hell's he doing? We'll find out in time. And if you like this video, check out the one on your screen right now. Fascinating facts. WWE in the 1990s.
Ooh.
When Jericho was in WCW. Never mind. There you go. Bye.
Bye.